This week on the Jaguar Week in Review, high school reporter Casey Stegman interviews chapter leader Gary Rogers and others about the upcoming FFA state competition. Sports reporter Daniel Sabula joins members of the weight room to get a glimpse of what our athletes are doing to improve their skills. Community reporter Peyton Van Beck looks at the new Mexican restaurant in Belgrade. The Jaguar Week in Review starts now. Good morning, BBE, and welcome to the Jaguar Week in Review. I'm Christian Benz. We have a few announcements for you today. There will be a boys baseball game at 4:30 versus Kimball at home and a girls softball game at 4:30 versus Kimball at Kimball. Saturday is prom 30th. There will be a baseball game at Piers at 4 p.m. There will also be a softball game versus Piers at 4 p.m. Last but not least, there will be a track meet at the high school at 4. Now, on to the news. Community reporter Peyton Van Beck went to talk to the Saucedo family to see how their new business is doing.
There's a new restaurant in Belgrade that recently opened up. This restaurant is Saucedo's Family Mexican Restaurant, and it is located where Cousins Cafe used to be. First, I talked to Danya Saucedo to see what it is like to work at a family business.
I'd rather work with family than working with other people, yeah.
This recent opening has students and community members excited to eat there.
Yeah, actually last week a couple of friends and I went out on Saturday night.
Saucedo's brings authenticity right to your plate. This is one of the reasons that people keep coming back.
I would have to say that whole atmosphere is pretty cool. I mean, there's archways and the whole building just feels kind of cool.
Getting to work with family is a new experience for waitress Alondra Saucedo.
It is a great opportunity to meet new people and to experience, like working and helping family out and stuff like that.
If you plan on eating there, you may want to try some of these foods that have been deemed favorites.
My favorite food would be camarones a la diabla because I just love shrimp, so.
I would say the fajita mix by far. It's like that's my favorite on the menu, yep.
The restaurant has already become a town favorite and has shown support thus far.
Yes, and we're super thankful that they've came and shown their support because without them, we basically won't have a restaurant, so.
Reporting for the Jaguar Week in Review, I'm Peyton Van Beck.
Saucedo's is open 7 days a week and currently has a 5-star rating. On to high school news. Reporter Casey Stegman got a short preview of the up-and-coming state FFA convention through the BBE chapter president and advisor.
This year, BBE has a record 44 kids going to the state FFA. 4-year FFA participant Trevor Hubert tells us his experience in the BBE FFA chapter.
It's been quite the experience. There's a lot of different events that we go to. There's a lot of competitions you can compete in. Overall, it's been a great experience.
Gary Rogers has been a part of the BBE FFA chapter for 33 years. This year, with a record high 44 students, he is very excited to see the outcome of the students.
I've got 44 going this year. We have 10 teams and 1 individual going for Creed speaking. This is the most we've ever had, yes.
Trevor Hubert is the new president of the chapter here in BBE. With 8,630 chapters here in America, Trevor explains how he became the president of ours.
Becoming chapter president isn't like a lengthy process. It's kind of like if you want to do it, what other people think of it, like the advisor's decision too. So it's not just like you kind of get put into it, but it's a little process.
With more than 4,000 students going to this state FFA convention, Gary runs down what will happen.
Most of our judging's right away on Monday morning, and then the awards program's Monday night, where we're going to have 10 of our students here getting their state FFA degree, which is the highest degree that they can get in the FFA in the state.
Reporting for Jaguar Week in Review, I'm Casey Stegman.
We all wish you luck at the competition. Today we join Daniel Sabula as he interviews members of the BBE weight room and sees how the weight room is improving the skills of our school's athletes.
The BBE weight room is getting to be a big thing here for BBE athletes. Every morning, student athletes pack the weight room to not only improve their athleticism, but to also have a fun time.
It varies. I think right now we've got a pretty solid core, actually 6th graders through seniors. I think this morning I counted 12 or 15, so the numbers are definitely growing. I think kids are starting to have fun with it, and that makes a big difference.
The weight room ranges from 6th graders to seniors, we have many different levels of lifters. Here we will talk to Blake Goodall, a senior from BBE, a leader in the weight room.
Well, I've been in and out of the weight room pretty much my whole high school career because of sports, but I'd say for like the past year or so, it's something I've done a lot more regularly and taken a lot more seriously.
Blake is a prime example of a hard worker that gets results from his work.
It has a lot actually, especially since, like I said, I started taking it more seriously. I'd say over the past year I've made a lot of improvements to myself. I've gotten a lot stronger and faster, and I think I definitely owe that to making going to the weight room a habit.
Blake is not only an athlete that is improving from his time in the weight room. Younger lifter Toby Sabila is also getting the same results as Blake.
Makes me faster during football. It makes me stronger so I don't get tackled by one person. It takes more than one person.
Both of these student athletes have noticed their improvements in the weight room, but they are not the only people noticing these improvements. BBE wrestling coach Jack Mueller also says he can see a difference in athletes on the mental side too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think definitely the more you do outside of any sport is going to make you better. I'm actually a big believer that lifting goes a long ways for the mental side of sports. I always tell our wrestlers that the only person that really knows, what you're doing on your days off is yourself. And if you have the confidence and you've been in the weight room, you're going to just perform a lot better just based on knowing that you've done what you can do.
The weight room is expanding and helping many athletes in our school, both physically and mentally, making our school athletics into an elite program.
In the last couple of years, Daniel Sabula, Tyler Bentz, Blake Goodall, there's kids that are in here every single day, and that's starting to trickle down. We've now got a good group of freshmen, like I said, even down to some sixth graders that are starting to buy in and see that. So it does take time. It doesn't happen overnight, but I'd say our numbers are definitely improving thanks to some of those guys I just mentioned.
Reporting for the Jaguar Weekend Review, I'm Daniel Sabula.
The weight room is expanding and helping many athletes in our school, both physically and mentally, making our school's athletics into elite programs. That's all the time we have for this week's episode. Join us next week and be sure to follow us on YouTube and subscribe to the Jaguar Weekend Review on iTunes and Google Play Store.